Hey, so earlier this week, I posted something to my story about. Well, I posted a question. I said, if you can ask a blind person or a visually impaired person um, something about their experience, what would you want to know? And I got a couple questions.
Mm-hmm. One of the questions is on your page.
All right, well, that's cool. Go ahead, give me.
I don't know. It's in your groups, but somebody asked you something about being blind from, was it
Uh, uh,
always being blind?
Born, yeah.
Being born blind, yeah, but you weren't born blind.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I wasn't born blind.
Well, fortunately.
Well, yeah, fortunately. Yes, yes, yes. So, fortunately, I wasn't born blind, so I can't speak from that perspective because it is something that you do have to visualize. Like, you can put your spin or your own imagination on whatever you want as a visually impaired person, but I do think it's beauty into like transitioning and losing your sight because you know what the world looked like first. Um, but I will say this: it's like the creativity of a visually impaired person is next level, G. Only because you can't see what they are imagining or designing or creating in their head. Like, um, I could place myself into a fantasy land that you aren't realistically living in, but I'm experiencing the real world as you. I'm just portraying it in a different scenery or
Mm-hmm.
imagery than you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that like that's the one of the funnest things about being visually impaired, and what's cool about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what was the other question?
Okay. So the question is, it's like multiple ones. It says, when did you finally accept it? Um, is it a little bit easier because you had eyesight growing up until recent?
Uh,
So when did you finally accept it?
okay, so I would say this. I don't. I want to be real. I am gonna be real. I don't think it's a time where you really 100% truly accept it,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think it's a time where you deal with it and move forward. Um, and the reason why I say that you never 100% truly accept it, well, for me per se, is because I do know there's studies going on, and different scientific things that's going on to help restore vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which would also put me in the position of not accepting that this is my life.
Mm-hmm.
But also too, it puts me into the position of being hopeful, which will create you not to have that doubt or that fear or that stress, that level of stress.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the beauty in that portion of it. But it's something new every day. I tell you that, like on a gloomy day, you can think it's sunshine, even though
Mm.
you might feel that it's like gloomy outside,
Mm-hmm.
but I can make my day feel like it's a sunny day.
Mm.
Uh, what was the other parts of that question though? Because it was so deep. I just stuck on one part.
It says, when did you finally accept it? Is it a little bit easier because you had eyesight growing up until recent?
Is it easier? No, I think actually it makes it harder for somebody like me because you are adjusting and adapting to not being able to see. Um, but it's it has its perks of making it easier because, like I was saying before in the last question, visually I know that the sky is blue. I know the leaves on the trees in the spring and the summer is green. I
Mm-hmm.
know that snow is white unless it's dirtied up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the visual representation I already have is already there, which puts me in a different level of like playing. You know, which is cool. I think that's amazing. But to piggyback off the last question to people who are visually impaired, I think it might be well, who are born visually impaired. I do just think it's just like the same playing field the whole time. I think it makes it harder for somebody like myself who has done over 20 plus years seeing, and then to be dropped into this point. But it's an experience, and I would just say every day you just take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and never get too high, never too low about the things that you might experience. You know, I do also will say this is for somebody who has gone through what I've gone through, it's okay to take time for yourself. You know, where you want to mentally be to yourself. You know, it's so quick to, you know, feel like you need to rely on people or different things, but it's okay to count on yourself or just use yourself as support. You know, that's my advice, you know, for that particular thing. Okay. We got one more question.
I kind of think you answered it, kind of, but it says, I know it was tough mentally. How did you get through it, or what are ways to stay positive about it?
See, my mentality is different than most. I have strong willpower, and I'm just willing to fight through all adversity. So I never looked at it like it was the end. And for me to say this to people who are currently going through this is to know that this is not going to change who you are. It's going to change the perspective of what you look like, but it doesn't change who you are. The only thing it can really do for you is make you stronger, because guess what? You got to use other senses stronger than people who didn't even know that they can use it. Like, I challenge myself maybe 3 times out of the week, 2 to 3 times out of the week, to listen to multiple things at once so I can focus on maneuvering around a lot of noise, a lot of chaos, you know, to get my focus there. You know, I think it has increased my hearing, you know, and what I mean by that is if we was in a large room or we was in a crowded space and a lot of people are talking, I can dissect the conversation, and if you are talking to me, it makes it easier for me to tune out the noise around me to focus on what's going on in my face. So those are the things I would just say for somebody who is going through this, to find the beauty in you. Find the beauty in you. You know what? At the end of the day, what made you you? Because people are going to look at this particular portion or this time frame in your life as a change in space. But you still have to create some normalcy around you. And that's the thing that'll keep you whole or keep you focused. Create normalcy. Because one big normalcy has changed.
Yeah.
But everything else hasn't. The day still goes on. You know, it's still 24 hours in a full day. You only utilize at least about 10 of them, for real.
Yeah, I think like when I come home or whatever and the TV be on like the volume, say it's at 9 or something. I'm like, I can't hear it. I gotta turn it up, but he listening to the TV at like 9 or maybe 10. Maybe 10. Okay. I at least turn it up to like 14, 15, 16 for me. But no, like his hearing is very good. But one thing I don't like is when we go out, no, I'm just kidding. No, it's funny. When we go out in public, like the cashiers or whomever is like taking care of us who's behind the counter or whatever. They be asking him like, "Are you okay? You know, do we gotta get her?" And I'm just like, "Is he okay?
Y'all the real ones.
Is he okay? Ask me if I'm okay. The question is, am I okay?" But it's just so funny.
Nah, they understand. Shout out to y'all because y'all real. All like 4, 5 of y'all that did that. Y'all,
yeah, they be like, "You don't want me to get her, do you?" Like, I don't even be doing nothing, but
y'all know. Y'all know what it is. You know, I ain't got to say nothing, but shout out to y'all. I know exactly where to go if I need somebody to throw them hands with.
Yeah.
So, shout out to the ones that love me.
I am okay. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no, but no, for real though. For real, like that is real. Somebody, you know, people should ask you more if you okay. Because as crazy as it might sound, hey, who is to say that I ain't doing something to you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know.
Who is to say? It's the perception. So let's keep the perception going, y'all. You know, y'all doing y'all thing. Every time you see me, ask me how I'm doing. You know, I might be hurt. I might need some coddling and consultation or consoling.
Oh my goodness.
You know, you never know.